Welcome back to Living the Wiccan Life. In part 2 of our episode, we bring you our interview with Raven Digitalis, author of Gothcraft. Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis, and I'm here at INATS with Raven Digitalis and Esta. And are you enjoying your weekend here at INATS?
Yeah, definitely.
It's been wonderful.
The show's a little bit small this year, but it's great. I always love making connections with everybody and getting new products, getting to know people, and making new connections really is what it's all about, I think.
And we have some of your books here on the table, and I believe that this one is about to be published and not quite out yet?
Yep, Shadow Magic Compendium comes out in September, so it can be kind of considered a loose follow-up to Gothcraft, but it takes out the element of subculture. So there's no subculture emphasis in Shadow Magic Compendium. It's interpretations of working with the darkness in a positive way, and whereas Gothcraft was partially focused on subculture and the magical integration. This one just focuses mostly on the magical realm.
What would you say is the main thing, is your main emphasis in your writing?
I would say the main emphasis is coming to know oneself through darkness and finding empowerment through positive forms of darkness, basically. So I guess in a lot of ways it's shamanic, because the shaman always journeys into the depths of the shadow to uncover the light and uncover the knowledge of the mysteries of the earth and of the self.
And what you mean by the term darkness is probably not what someone who has no background would understand by it. And if they want to understand, they can find out in your books.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have misconceptions of darkness. I mean, the universe doesn't vary between shadow and light. It's all one and the same. It's just one side of the spectrum. And darkness doesn't imply evil by any means. You know, darkness can refer to sleep, as far as I'm concerned, because that's the dark cycle of one's day, whereas wakefulness is the light cycle.
It's like the inner spiritual aspect of things, yes?
Sure, yeah, definitely. And in Shadow Magic Compendium, I look at different types of shadows. So the first chapter is the internal shadow, and the second one is the external shadow, and then the astral shadow, and the shadow of nature, and the shadow of society. So it's kind of all over the map. And it's just my interpretation. There's a bajillion ways to interpret shadow and light.
What would you say is the main thing that people get from your writing, in terms of if they apply these things, what does it do for them?
I think it helps give a person a new perspective, a new way of looking at the world, I guess.
I wanted to ask you, how you were on MTV recently, I believe. How did that go for you?
It was crazy. Like, MTV is a big outlet, and you didn't want to be on MTV because they're such an industry. But it was interesting. It was very cool. They were extremely respectful and came to our house and did a lot of filming, and it was really neat. Had a good time.
Wonderful.
Yeah, they represented us very positively in our community. So, and even though most witches are not Gothic, and I'm glad that I emphasized that in that interview too, so that people don't have that misconception. But it represents a small handful.
Oh, well, a little more than a small handful, but yeah.
Decent size.
Would it be fair to say that a lot of the people who are involved with you and involved with your writing are younger people? Or is that not necessarily so?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
There's quite a variety of people from many different walks of life that are drawn. Yeah, definitely with the first book, younger people responded more because of the subculture emphasis, and people are just finding themselves in youth a lot of the time. So,
well, I understand that you grew up around all of this, and have been coming to this show for many years.
Yeah, I came here with my mom for quite a few years, and she's not here this time, so I'm just here with LWL. But yeah, I've been pretty exposed to alternative cultures and lifestyles and religions for quite a while.
How would you say that our community has changed in terms of dealing with young people and with the variety of subcultures that we embrace over the course of the last few years?
Well, I think as subcultures become more known, the same with alternative religions, they become more known, people become more accepting, and yeah, you're right. There did used to be some level of discrimination, even within the neo-pagan community, against subcultures, because they're separate things. You know, subculture and religion, they're totally different things.
That's true.
I think part of my work is to bridge that gap.
That's very important.
Yeah, definitely. And then we represent our tradition a lot too through our writings. We have a shadow magic tradition, and
Could you say a few words about that?
Yeah, I'll let Esther, she formed the majority of it. Yeah.
Well, our tradition is called Opus Ima Obscuri, and it's fundamentally a fusion, eclectic tradition that combines a lot of neo-tribal roots with occult symbolism and Kabbalah, as well as with naturalistic cycles and the Celtic Wheel of the Year and a sort of tribal, nomadic, solar, lunar worship and cosmic worship that we see from our ancestors. And we work a lot with that sort of ancestral energy and the idea of bringing all of those things together to help us better direct our future and determine where we're going. So that includes a lot of community work and ritual work for us. We hold rituals on the full sun and dark sun, and the full sun for us is the midpoint during the astrological cycle, when that cardinal energy of the sign is most typified in that solar energy. And then the dark sun is those flux times, those times in between signs, which we would call the cusp, which are the shifts, which are those mutable solar times. And then we have the full moon and dark moon as well, and then our holidays. So we have a hefty ritual schedule, and our community is really very involved.
That's wonderful.
Very involved. We're tons of cottage crafts, and we make all kinds of candles. We work really hard to promote environmental consciousness and responsibility and accountability. So we work with community programs like Greenpeace. We've worked this year for raising money with Arts Terra as well. So we have a real strong ethical idea of helping community and being involved in our local Missoula community as well, and trying to really represent, you know, a positive pagan force as opposed to, you know, sort of a secretive enclave that doesn't want anyone to really experience them. We want to really open people.
Important.
Yeah.
I mean, because when people are so secretive, then everybody wonders what you're doing.
Exactly.
And you could be the most harmless person on earth, and they're going to think you're up to something.
Right.
And when they can get to know you, it makes it much easier to deal with everything.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. Yeah.
In a rural community like Missoula, if we were secretive, you know, we would be assumed to be sacrificing goats and cats and missing children. So, you know, there are a lot of those stereotypes still exist in rural areas.
It's true.
We live in a liberal place in Montana, but a lot of the places around us aren't nearly as liberal. So we really have to work hard to present always a positive image, and a lot of the magic we do is balance. So we touch on shadow, and we work with shadow when that's present, when trauma and when violence occur in life, when the negative things have to be dealt with. That's when you're working with shadow. And we work with light when we're manifesting, when we're drawing those things we want, when we're deciding where it is that we want to go and how we want to get there.
Two different necessary sides of the spectrum, and
both
hence
absolutely interwoven.
Solar and lunar worship. You know, the god and the goddess standing equally on equal footing.
That's very significant.
Important.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, what is the next project for you?
I'm going to write a spell book, so that'll be fun. Yeah, I'm excited for that. But it'll be kind of a wrap-up. I guess it could be kind of a little darkness trilogy. Then I'll go on to some other things. I have a bunch of ideas in mind.
Very good.
And then, like I said, all of the books represent our tradition in a lot of ways, which is pretty significant to get that work out there, and these particular types of working with darkness. Because a lot of people fear it, and there's no reason to fear it.
But there's a lot of misunderstanding.
Oh yeah.
And if people will take the time to understand what's actually being said, they'll see that there's not something to be afraid of here.
Sure.
So if people want to find out more about your books, more about your tradition, more about you, where would they go?
RavenDigitalis.com.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Be well.
Yeah.
I hope that you enjoyed our interview with Raven Digitalis and Asta, and that you'll join us again next time for Living the Wiccan Life, when we'll bring you interviews with Nick Edwards, the Pyramid Man, and noted author Richard Webster. Until then, may you blessed be. And remember, Witch School's first, second, and third degree lessons, as well as ritual and therium practice, and coming in January, Living the Wiccan Life, available in paperback at bookstores near you, or direct from us at www.witchschoolstore.com. This October, the world of pagan voices comes together in one global gathering, the Pagan World Congress. 5 days, over 100 hours. Speakers, rituals, music, and town halls streamed across the world. Join the conversation. Shape the future. Be part of history. The Pagan World Congress, October 9th through 13th, 2025. Online at paganworld.co.